What's happening, beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike and welcome back to the journey where I'm building different squads as we progress through divisional play, get involved in some tournaments, and as always I'm dropping some feedback on which players really stand out and they perform well, and other guys that they drop the ball, they're a little bit of a disappointment. And in today's video we've got team strength with full chemistry, very affordable squad. And before I begin, if you guys need any Ultimate Team coins, check out FIFAcoinstoday.com. The links will be in the description, and make sure to use the code MICHS09, M-I-C-H-S-09, in order to get an additional 10% off every single purchase. And they're having sales, Christmas sales. Go shopping, people. So I've decided to use the 4-2-3-1, the original edition, which means no left mid, no right mid. And this formation feels a little bit less natural than the other variation just because the spacing and movement doesn't seem like it flows the same way. But I like to try out different formations all the time in my squad builders. And speaking of squad builders, you guys have been smashing that like button, which tells me you're enjoying the series, which is great. The last video, I think I asked for 200, and you guys hit 350 plus, which is unreal. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's aim for 200 or 250 likes and see where that takes us as we concede to start the game off. God, that made it look easy, and I hate starting matches with a deficit. It's not a good way to go into games. And I've got a huge question for everyone. Who is your favorite striker to use under an 80 overall rating? And with this squad having Lukaku, having Benteke, two players I really love using, I wanted to know what everybody else is feeling this year. I know Benteke is on everyone's squad. It seems like if you've got a BPL team, you need to have him either on the bench, use him as a super sub. He could be your starter. He could be your center forward. He's just very complete as a player. And I'm not discriminating. Let me know from any league, not just the BPL. But drop a comment, guys. YOLO cross right before halftime. Speaking of Benteke, just tough to stop. I mean, he gets a lot of power on that header. And he jumps so well. And let's look at the defense, though. We've got Harden net, who is one of those players that, for me personally, he's kind of inconsistent as a keeper. He does something great, and then he does something stupid. And speaking of great moments, he gets a hand right there on the chip. And can we bicycle it off the line? Of course, of course. I love that animation. You rarely see that in real life. Every once in a while, they save him off the line. But the amount of times that it happens in FIFA doesn't seem to match up as Carroll slots it home, and we're back in the game. We got the equalizer. And then on the defense, we have Ilakobi. And I may be butchering his name a little bit. Very strong left back. He just looks like an ox. A very physical looking dude. Next to him you have Oliver, who's huge. He's a monster, 6'7", one of the tallest players in the game. And then Vidic and Richards, which is more of my strong side of the defense. I think that the pace comes into play a little bit. But with those center defensive midfielders, especially Fellaini chasing back, it makes things a lot easier on your defense. That wasn't my big issue with the squad. However, I do want to let this be known. Do not use this team if you're in a very high division. I think it's going to be hard. You're going to struggle. You're going to feel like you're being handicapped. Because I'm playing in Division 4 and not taking anything away from any of my oppositions in this video. But if I had a normal sweat squad or something along those lines, I think that I would be smashing and dashing. That's just how I feel. And I could be mistaken. But I don't want to come off cocky or anything like that. I just had a lot of trouble controlling the match and holding on to possession while creating consistent chances with this team, because your opponents pressure everywhere, all over the place in Ultimate Team. And if you don't have some pacey players, or if you don't have the right personnel, your build-up play is going to be a little bit suspect, and it shows. And I give up the goal. That's not good. And I was making so many chances, left and right, and I just could not get the goal. I need the goal. But we have Davies at the CDM role, and his tag team with Akinfenwa is atrocious, and that's a big problem. And that's where I struggled, I think, the most, because Akinfenwa has a low work rate, and this guy does not move. You can tell him to make runs, and he just looks at you. He's like, no, I'm going to the gym. I'm not going to do any running. Cardio is not for me. I'm just a protein shake type of guy. And it's tough. It's really difficult. And look at those stats, though. 58% possession, 11 shots, 9 on target, and we don't get a goal. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know about using this team. And I definitely encourage everyone to replicate it, remake it, try it out. It's really cheap, under 30,000 coins, but if you're in a high division, it might be hard, is what I'm trying to tell you. If you like a challenge, go for it. Otherwise, get in single matches, try them in a tournament as Fellaini rebounds at home. And we're not getting pretty goals, and the skill moves aren't coming out that quick. But Fellaini and Lukaku's side of the 4-2-3-1 looked good. The problem is it just wasn't on both sides of the pitch. You can't only have an attack that's relevant from one half. It just doesn't work that way. Andy Carroll was okay. I was trying to decide how I liked him as a center attacking midfielder. He's a little bit sluggish on turns, And unfortunately, he's not the only player I've got in my starting 11 that's kind of sluggish on turns as we give up a through ball here. Can we catch a Barbo? And he cuts inside. I can't believe that goes in. I don't know if I want to blame Hart, blame the defense, or compliment a Barbo on having an off foot that can finish from about 25 yards, just back of the net. But we get a 2-1 lead just before halftime. Whipping in cross, keeping it kind of sweaty. But Carroll, Fellaini, Akinfenwa, Davies, they just turn very slow on the ball. And sluggish turns, plus not having good pace, ooh, you might have some trouble. Ooh, Lukaku, you could have finished that. I wish he would have taken that on his left foot. And then Benteke, I have no complaints. I just didn't get enough service to him, to be completely honest with everyone. He's an amazing striker. He's worth everything. And oh, God, the legend that he is. Pirlo with a beautiful, beautiful finish. But Benteke does everything well. I just didn't have the service to help him out and to really give him enough opportunities to score goals. And I hate giving up 90th minute goals. I do. But when it looks like that, you just can't complain. It was beautiful. It was lovely. I watched the replay multiple times after the match. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at MikeSon9USA. Got a lot more content coming for you ASAP.